Weak on parental rights, MIA on border
Hi guys.
security, lying to Texans. You shine, can't be trusted.
I'm your overly competitive brother. I'm ready for a rematch. Here, take a free shot.
You're like about to get served.
It's
Seriously?
Get Allstate.
Wednesday?
Save money and be protected from mayhem.
I can't even
Like
remember
me.
right now. It's the 29th. Today is a long day. We're just getting home. Mom picked me up I was supposed to be at the job center for the resume at 11. We got there at like 11:20. I asked her the night before, I said the appointment's at 11, so you gotta be here by like 10:30. Trying to, I mean, if she's my ride, I can't criticize her or anything. But every time she's late, and I'm like, you have to be here. And I think I said that, and she was like, well, I didn't really sleep good the night before and this and that, so all she does is get up, drink coffee, and put her makeup on. So I don't know what's taking so long. She usually gets up at 6. She's never slept in. She's not a sleep-in person.
There's something about your father that you should know. Yes, dear.
So
To Jennifer, he is
that happened.
Lying to me. I don't trust her.
He was with another person, so I had to wait, and this was a big thing because he said it would take about an hour, so it was going to be 11 to 12 because my mammogram, something I've been waiting for because of the things that I've been feeling for 4 years, was at 1.
movie baby. Dab to the bone on Movie Favorites by Lifetime.
So he fixed my resume. We went over it for a while. We left there at 12:35,
Anytime.
and we made it on time to my appointment.
I guess. What is
He
it?
was nice. She went outside a couple times because it was taking so long, and he was really pushing me, trying to make the times add up, and I was just
Where you want to put it?
trying not to break down, but I was trying to say, look, because I'm just not in my right mind right now of everything that's gone on the past couple of days with Don and finding this stuff out, and I can't really think right, and then he's like, you gotta put this time together, and then I'm trying not to break down. I'm like, look, when I wasn't working at these places, I was home, and
Such a beautiful.
so I just put, because the time, years were adding right up, and I was trying to explain that I'm trying not to make gaps for employers.
We can't wait to share our lives with
So
our
then he
child.
was just like, it's
That's what
okay,
I'm here to help with.
whatever this
This
was
must
is
be the
over,
husband.
Kevin, nice to meet you.
and you're starting
Nice to meet you. I've heard
fresh.
great things.
Well, I'm glad you're in a good mood. I heard that you weren't so sold on me being here today.
And then I had my mammogram.
Well, I've had my reservations about the whole process.
The nurses were upset
but Sarah
because
feels strongly about weighing her
the
options.
first nurse that does everything was like,
Well, I appreciate your honesty.
you've never been checked, even by a person?
Why don't we
And I
get
was like,
started? I'll
no,
show you
I
guys
did
the
keep
kitchen.
telling everybody about the lumps, and I was confused of what's real and what's not, because I know you're supposed to do it yourself, but I don't know how, and I don't know what's real or not, what's supposed to be there, what's not.
Sure.
So every time that I did bring it up to Regina during the years, she didn't do that, but I don't know if that's what she's supposed to do, but
Yeah, we follow the instructions.
the pregnancy doctors, Christiana certainly was, and they were hurting, and the lumps that I was feeling were hurting during the pregnancy, and they still didn't do a check. I needed them to check because I didn't know what I was feeling. So then her and the doctor both like, nobody did this? And I'm like, well, nobody here, these people doing it either. It's not like it's people outside of Christiana. So all day, since yesterday, I'm calling about the Ativan. I talked to 4 people in total, two yesterday, 2 today. The first woman said, yes, it's called in. We put an emergency thing on it, and so it's going to the provider, which is the doctor, Mary Volkner, and that
One disadvantage of using your own
It
home is that
just
things
says
that-
pending, that she just has her patient, so she
It's not
hasn't
a
gotten
great
to
thought,
it,
but trust me,
and that
lots
it'll be
of
done by the end of the
hospitalities.
day.
Anne and I have plastic
So
covers
I'm like,
that
okay.
bathroom floors, some
But
basic
like I
tests,
said from the
some
beginning, I was
toes,
confused because
then we'll call it a day.
unless
Making
it's
it sound a
something
little less
different usually
complicated than it is,
with the
but-
medication, the pharmacist and the
What if there's an emergency?
people that control the drugs on the computer that say no and yes,
What if
they're
there's an
gonna
emergency?
say,
If there was a
well, wait a minute,
complication
what?
or
She still has enough to
not
add up
getting your abilities?
I understand.
by the prescription, so they would flag it. I said that from the beginning. I said it to Amber, and I said it from the beginning that once this is even if it goes to pharmacy, they're gonna mess with me because it's the same thing. Because they messed up. So
Do you have any other questions? Hon?
she says that it's fine, it's gonna be done by the end of the day. I'm like, okay. So that was before my 1 o'clock appointment while we're walking in. I hang up, we get out of there at around 5:30, right before 5. So,
That was interesting.
or no, I'm sorry, we got out of there, we got there at 1. It was supposed to be like a half an hour, and we left there at 3:30. I was late picking Dana up. So then we got there at 4:30, and they said,
Listen, I told you I didn't want to argue about this. If this is the decision you want to make, it's your decision. Get then done. Okay.
I was calling on the way there because my mom needed to take me to Rite Aid. So I called Rite Aid to see if it was ready.
Yeah,
They
it's
said
nice to
no,
have
that
some
we don't see
support.
anything on the computer. There's nothing pending, there's nothing
Hey,
coming,
remember when we used to talk about getting married? You said,
nothing. So I'm like, well, let me call them back.
Yeah.
So then I call back, and it's a different woman, and she's like,
maybe,
what it is again. Every time I have to keep explaining what the prescription is, what it is, as if there's nothing there already. And that I was like, why do I have to keep saying this? Isn't it there? Isn't it going through? Isn't it on the record then? So I explained it again, and I said she said it would be done by now, or it's by the end of the day. I'm calling because I'm not trying to rush anybody, but I only have a ride for today, and we have to go. And my mom's asking me if I'm okay, and I'm just like, yes. She's asking what's in the bag, and I'm like, nothing.
Mrs. McHale.
So then the woman says, you were informed wrong. I don't know who told you this, but we're not allowed to say it's done by the end of the day because we're in the office and we don't know. It usually is 72 hours. And I said, well, I've been calling since Saturday. And she's like, weekends don't count. And I'm like, this isn't my problem. The woman, the doctor made a mistake with a deadly medication here.
I'm not completely sure that St. Paul's is free from
So we
major
pick Vienna up and we go straight to the doctor's
but I
office.
assure you that we are working
Because my mom's like, no, you walk in there, this isn't 72 hours, this is 2 weeks then because you had your appointment and it's not the correct medication. So we go in there, and as soon as we say what's wrong, they're extremely rude. And then 7 people behind a desk are all staring at us with dirty looks like we're drug addicts looking for money or pills, like fishing for pills. So I'm like, oh my God, because my mom spoke for me at first saying what happened, and for some reason no one ever likes her. They get really angry really quick with her. I think that's why she's had a hard time as a nurse.
I guess I'm just too irresponsible.
Like a bad attitude when she talks. I don't think she means to, but it is. Can you please turn that down a little bit if you sit right next to me with it then?
Anyway, thank you
You're being
for
good.
everything.
Thank you.
Really. Ms.
So-
McHale, please, I'm sorry.
The woman's all like, she can talk. Because then I was trying to talk because I seen how upset she was getting them, and I'm thinking you get more flies with honey to talk. So, she shuts up, and I explain what happens, and then I'm already shaking and stuff. I can feel it already, so I'm just trying not to break down, and I'm just like, look, this is like, it's like I already have a whole lawsuit against them because of the negligence and the malpractice and the incompetence, and then it's just so much, and then it's the first appointment there, this is what they do, and then it's back and forth. I say what's going on, the lady looks at the computer and says, there's nothing here. Who were you calling? Because nobody has sent anything here or to the provider. There's nothing about this medication. And I'm like, what? I've been talking to 4 different people for 2 days. 2 people just today. They never did anything, never said anything. Nobody even knows what's going on. So I'm like, are you kidding me? And I'm looking at Mom, and she's still acting like it's my fault and this and that. And I'm like, why are you sticking up for everybody in the world except me all the fucking time?
Hello? Oh, hi, Russ.
All day long, she's defending people and shit she doesn't know everywhere. And it's just like,
I actually went in today to the obstetrician.
she's sitting there saying, well, people make mistakes. And I'm like, but when I make a mistake, it's been thrown in my face for 20 years.
Did you need something from me?
Why are you crying?
No.
Checking in.
So
Have a good night.
You be good too.
we're sitting there. I say what's happening. I say the situation. I say why I came there. I say that I've been on this medication. This isn't like what you're thinking. I've been on the same dose for 8 years. It's 3 times a day. And she messed up. And I guess they seen that she did type it wrong. So then they come up and they're like, she sent the prescription. She said to even it out, it's enough to be tampered. So it's enough to go to the day of the month so that it'll add up, but it's tampering. And she said it's only temporary, but it's just the way it is. So I figured, okay, I guess that's because of insurance, and that's fine. You know, I'm not gonna complain.
Hey, baby.
So I'm just like, okay,
Do you need help?
No.
that's fine.
I think I got
So
it.
we leave there and go right to the pharmacy, which is right around the corner. And I get there, and Eleanor,
It's fine.
who is someone I talked to on the phone for 8 years, every time I'd call for the prescriptions, I really got to know her like over the phone and then in person once we moved here. She was like, look, Dana, I don't know what they did,
Thank you for
but
doing
they
that.
should have known
You're the best.
that sending in the same medication was going to alert them. They put a red flag on it because technically they're looking at it saying you should have enough for 8 more days. So it's too little that she sent in or too much or something. They're not going to do it at all. Like, even if you paid, I didn't even ask if I could pay because I know that's how they do it, because of the mess ups from Christiana in the past. So I'm just like, I knew this. And she's like, the only way is if they change the type.
No fees or minimums and no
Which
overdraft
I thought
fees.
too. I
Banking with
knew
Capital
it.
One is the
I
easiest
feel like this
decision
is
in
the first
history
thing
of
you
decisions.
learn in day
Even
2
easier
of
than this.
schooling. It can't be the same thing because of the way it adds up with the pharmacy and the DEA and everything involved in the computers. So they flagged it and they're saying no. She would have to prescribe a
With
different
no
kind of
fees or
benzo,
minimums
the same
and
amount
no
to even it
overdraft
out then.
fees. Is it even a
So
decision?
I call
That's banking reimagined.
again the
What's in
number
your
I've been calling all day. When you get on Google for this office, it's supposed to go there, but it doesn't. It goes to some line, and there's a bunch of different options. So obviously, I've been pushing refills and prescriptions all day. The times I've been calling for 2 days. So this time I pushed schedule appointment because that's the first place button I called in the very beginning, schedule appointment. So I'm thinking maybe that's the people I talked to in the front.
Even easier than this.
My mom's screaming, "You're white as a ghost. What if your blood's down again?" And I'm like, they just said it was okay last month. I don't know.
Yep, even easier than that.
It's
With
probably
no fees
the
or minimums
underlying
and no
conditions.
overdraft fees. Is it even a decision? That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
So I called to see if I could I wanted to talk to someone in that office that I just spoke to. Please just transfer me to this office. When we were at the appointment, this Mary was like, you can call anytime, I'm here, this, and that. I can't even find her. Regina she would have fixed this the next day. So then it's 8 more days, and there's nothing I can do unless she calls in a different type of medicine tomorrow. I called and pushed the scheduling button, talked to another woman. She was like, this is an office, the office is closed already, but still wouldn't give me a number, any contact information.
Took my son. So my scared. This May,
Mother's hiding something.
So
I work very hard to provide for you
she
and your brother. Is what you do.
wrote it all down and is going to send it to somebody and get my number so someone should call or something. And I'm like, well, what about this Mary? Why isn't she? Why can't she be found? or contacted. I don't get this. She didn't get any of the information from the people I called for 2 days. It wasn't even a computer system when I got there. This is Christiana for you.
Short, quick exhale.
If these lawyers would listen to me, if someone would take the time to listen to me, these stories would just blow their mind.
Hey, baby, I'm gonna get some lunch. You hungry?
They need to be exposed. They think they're the big dogs in this state, so they don't care. They don't enforce anything, and I don't think it's the nurse's fault or the doctor's fault, but
Has everything been resolved between you two? You know,
something's going on. It can't just be me.
He still has his reservations.
That they're doing
But
these
he's
life-threatening
not
like
just
things
oh my
with just
God.
negligence
Those are
and
vicious to
patient
come out
abandonment and all this stuff all the time.
I've seen a lot of
It's
situations
not
where
right.
husbands blow up over nothing.
So
You can't afford to jeopardize things this late, Megan.
I'm probably gonna have to go to the hospital
Just be careful.
once I start seizing and stuff and DTs, because there's no way to avoid that. And now I have all day everything they told me swirling around in my head that I have to wrap my head around now.
Yeah, that's right. Breathe.
I love you.
Why are you crying?
Just 'cause I love you so much.
Russ just
It makes me
left.
happy. We go after on our way home.
You get a chance to talk
My
about
mom
that,
wants the
bro?
chicken from the Royal Farms.
I told her
So I'm like,
everything
all right.
was safe
I'm
for
in
us.
there. She's ordering the chicken. We have to wait 20 minutes for the chicken.
How'd she take it?
And I go, me and her are looking around, and I'm in my boots as usual. I wear boots. And I slip and bust my ass on the floor on a cardboard box. And I'm like, what the? So I turn around and the guy's down the other aisle unpacking the boxes. But this was like way out where the sodas were. I guess he forgot it and left it. But it was busted open. It was just like flat. And my whole ankle flew sideways off of the side of my boot. And it hurt. It almost felt like a snap. So the cashier's like, do you want me to call an ambulance? And I'm just like,
If you need anything, all right?
trying to get up. I'm in excruciating pain now, limping. And I'm like, no, I don't have time for that. I have to get home and feed my child. She has the zoo thing. So we missed the zoo thing. Because by the time Mom was done with chicken, it was over. And I feel awful about that now. She doesn't seem to care, but I fought for the zoo thing. And then when we picked her up because we were late, they weren't even going to call me to tell me that like I said before, I went down there and said, she wants to do the zoo thing. I know kids aren't going. Can you keep her in mind? So they weren't even going to call me. I went in there to pick her up because we were late. And she's like, oh, by the way, there is room tonight. And I'm like, for what? And she's like, the zoo thing. And I'm like, thank you. So then I was excited for that, but then we still had time, but Mom wanted to get this chicken. She needed it for lunch for to work tomorrow, and it was a big thing. But yeah, now my ankle swelled up. It's like swelling now. And I'm like, well, I don't want to get the boy in trouble. It's not the kid's fault. And the woman saying, no, it's not his fault. It's management. They didn't train him right. So I wrote my information down, and she's going to give it to the manager or whatever. And I'm just like, it's not, I don't want the kid to lose his job because he was unpacking a box and left one on accident. It's an accident, but my leg could be fractured.
Good. I'll be right over.
So, it's all on camera. It was an accident. I guess he didn't mean to. It happened before we walked in there, obviously. But if no one was helping him unpack all that stuff. And it looked like he was piling them up on the other side, so they must have told him to do that. And it shouldn't be piled up like that then, if one side's down and somebody's slipping on it. We were looking at the soda, not the ground.
What was she doing?
Protect us, sweetheart. We need a cool compress.
So
You go wet down some washcloths for us.
I just don't understand what's going on with my luck.
It'll be worth the pain once you see it.
And I just don't even begin. I don't know how to begin to deal with the information overload. They gave me some information that I put in my purse because my mom was trying to look in my bag. So when I came out, I went into the bathroom before because she was like, what took so long? And all that after I came out of the bathroom. And I was just like, nothing.
Now if you need to remove yourself from the room and collect your nerves, I have everything under control. Oh my God.
So they're just gonna send the information to the doctor, and then they schedule like more MRIs and things like that. But we're okay.
Give her some electrolytes before he gets back.
I'm okay. Everything's okay. I'm glad the guy did my resume really good though. He turned out to be really nice, and it looks good. So sent it to my Indeed account, and I'm gonna start sending it out tomorrow to different places.
Let me know when you're on the way. I'll meet you at emergency.
And I think everything is gonna look up soon. I was seeing my lucky number everywhere today, even though it was a bad day. Everywhere I looked, it was like 121. I think I told you guys that I gave birth to my child on my birthday. That's my birthday, and I gave birth to her, and it was our due date. So it was a small percentage chances that kids that are actually born on their actual due date, and then it was like 4% chance in the world of a mother having a child on her own birthday. But it's always been more than that. It's always been a lucky number for different reasons too. It always just follows me everywhere. All right, guys. I love you all very much, and thank you for watching, and thank you for subscribing. Thank you for the support and advice. And we're just gonna take this one day at a time and fight. I should be okay with the medicine. I think I'll be okay with that. There's been some times I've come up with extra some months because I would forget to take it, so I'm sure there's some bottles in there with some extra that I can just tamper on, so that'll be okay. A woman was gonna come get Bengal Boy. Unfortunately, I have to rehome him, and this very nice girl, she was 21, she told me, and her father just passed, and she's dealing with it pretty good, and we talked for a while, and she just seemed perfect for him, because he's so lovable and sweet and needy and attention, just like Little Bear, and it's a beautiful Bengal, and she was gonna come get him. I couldn't do it last night because she said 9:30 at night, and I didn't even see that message because after I was done talking to her, I said I have appointments tomorrow, but you know my schedule's free. After that, just let me know when you're ready. But we're going to bed right now. I have to get her ready for school and stuff. And I sent the message and said goodnight and everything, so I didn't look, and she responded saying that she wanted to come last night at 9:30 and this and that, but obviously I didn't respond. So then today I was trying to say I'm sorry I missed that message, and she didn't respond back. And then I wrote hello, and she didn't respond back. She wanted to come get him last night before her double shift tomorrow, so she would have him Friday through the weekend. But I missed the message, so I don't know why she hasn't responded back to at least say why I can't get up here or something like that. But I thought they were really a perfect fit with her personality. because I talked to her for a while. I don't want to just give them to anybody. And she connected with me. Also, somebody commented on here. I haven't gotten to it because I really wanted to write to them. It was someone new that said that they were going through pretty much a similar situation, and they found my video. And that
I'm sorry, we can't have any visitors.
Excuse me?
This is a sterile environment and Sarah needs her
it meant a
rest.
lot to
Maybe
me
you can wait
last
somewhere
night.
else
It
for a
really
while.
Oh, Rose, it's okay.
made me feel better about this because I never stopped to think about.
I'm
She used the word vulnerable.
sorry for snapping her.
And I never really stopped to think about how vulnerable I really am being on these videos. Whether it's good or bad or what it makes me look like or the mistakes I've made in the past. Because I'm trying to
Anyone
teach
like anything?
and help others. And she said that this is really helping her. And she feels good to know that there is somebody out there that is going through the same thing and feeling the same way. And the fact that I was being so vulnerable about
Not bad, really.
losing my husband and stuff
So getting ready for him too.
was helping her. And that was really the first person in that type of situation that's mentioned that it's like the same thing that they're going through. And that's, I'm happy that she found these videos for that, because that's what it's about. And when I'm gone, there's still here for somebody to learn from,
Oh, I assumed that you were raised
the younger generation, and to see and remember.
How old do you think I am? You know what? Don't answer that, but take it from me. It's not very old.
So
Instant erase.
you're welcome, and thank you.
With no fees or minimums,
And thank you
and
all
no
for
overdraft
watching.
fees,
And
Indy
I'm sure
Capital
there's
One
more
is the
people that
easiest
relate
decision in
and
the
do
history
that.
of decisions.
There's just not a lot of
Even
comments,
easier than
but I
this.
know that there's a lot of people that watch and subscribe. So
Take Barkley.
hopefully it is helping a lot of women and young girls.
Yep, even easier than that. With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees.
I
Has
know
it been a
things
decision?
better
Thank you,
because I'm a
What's he
fighter,
doing?
and I always have been. And I have these kids to push me and motivate me. I gotta get her ready for bed. I love you guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing and sharing. Have a good night.